Hello, this is Group 6 and this is the code walkthrough for Assignment 2. Here I'm going to run the code. So first we write a loop which will go through and it will say if the file is about or if the file is father. If it's about, it will be labeled with a 0, and if it's father, it will be labeled with a 1. After that we go to the data preprocessing where we take the file in and then we find the mean of each file. Once we do that, we have the dataset, and once we get the dataset, we will feed it into the SVM, and that will give us the model. Once we have that, we have the weights which we will be using for the Android, the weight and the bias. Here we're going to test 2 of the files to see how long it takes to run. We use tick and talk. Once we do that, we can see in the command window it took 0.0287 milliseconds, and then we can see here that it's 0 and it's 1, 0 for father, or 0 for about and 1 for father. That's the code for the MATLAB part, and I'll go into the Android code next. This is the Android code for Assignment 2. I built it on top of Assignment 1. So right here we can see that we have a onClick or onCreate, and then we go to this function. This function is where we take each file from the assets folder, and then it will get the names of them. So if we go to info, we can see it. Right here we can see it. We can see the log, which is the first file, and then the second file, which is father, which is right there. And we have a counter which goes 0 and then 1 to keep track of how many files there are inside of the folder. Once we do that, we go to the next function. This function is where we are going to extract the data from the file. So once we extract the data using buffer reader, and then we store it all inside of the array, and then once we do that, we are going to do the mean. So we will go and get the sum of all of the data. So once we get the sum of each file, we will be doing the calculation for the mean, which is right here. Once we do the mean calculation, we have the weights and the bias that we got from MATLAB. Once we have that, we are going to find out if this file is father or about, which you can see where we do it right here. And then we add it up, and then we get a total number. And then if the total number is less than or equal to 0, the file is about, but if the file is, or if the total is greater than 0, then the file is father. And then if we keep going down, we'll see that we again have another log, and this log is where we end the nano timer. Once we end the nano timer, we can compare with the MATLAB code to see which is faster or how the performance is. I'm going to run that code to show the results. We can see the first assignments app, and then there, if you scroll down, you can see part 2. So when we click on part 2, it will go and execute the code, and we have the result in a nice and neat table view. So first we can see that the file name, which is right here, which is from assets, same as assets, and then we can see the classified number. Since it's a negative number and since it's less than 0, it is classified as about. And then we come to the second file, and we can see the second file is father. it's a father file, and then it's classified in a positive number. So we can say that this file is father. That's how we do it. And then at the last table view, it will always contain the execution time in milliseconds and seconds. And then this is for comparing with MATLAB to see the performance of the Android device versus the MATLAB device. Thanks for watching.